Hi, I'm Norton Geddie with McCutchen Vaught Geddie Hucks, your lawyers at the beach. It's September. That means it's time to start getting ready for your county taxes. In Horry County, our taxes are typically released right at the end of September or just beginning of October. When that happens, even if you have a mortgage company that pays your taxes through an escrow, you will probably receive a notice that says, "This is not your tax bill, it's been sent to your escrow company, but here's what we're going to be billing you." If you don't have a mortgage company and pay your own taxes, well, then you'll be receiving the actual bill. When you look at the bill, there's some critical things I want you to pay attention to. I've blown one up here. This is a printout from the county's webpage, and you can look it up on the webpage, horrycountysc.gov, which is an excellent webpage. You can look your property up by its address, by the owner's name, or by the tax ID number associated with your property. But I want you to take a look at what they give you. I've redacted this one, as you can see, but it shows basically where they're sending the bill. It shows the value they've put on the property for tax purposes, and keep in mind, you kind of want to keep that low if you can. It'll say what percentage. Now, there are two percentages available. That's not your millage rate. It's either a 6% non-primary use bill or a 4% primary use bill. And that's a big difference because taxes on a primary are dramatically lower than they are on a non-primary. That shows up here. First of all, you'll see the description up there, which will tell you the actual property. It'll show you the actual billing amount, and then it will show if you are a resident and have qualified for the primary residence exemption, it will display how much your tax bill is reduced. You can see on this particular example, there was no reduction. It can be as much as 2/3. So this is a very worthwhile exemption for which you should apply. The other exemption, which is very common, is a homestead exemption. You can see this property didn't qualify for that. If you have a primary residence and you're over 65 years of age or 100% disabled, you can qualify for a second exemption. You can see they're listed separately, which will take $50,000 off the assessed value of the property prior to the taxes being calculated. So that can also have a big impact. When you get your tax bill or when you go online and look it up, I want you to check and make sure if this is your primary residence, are they deducting the primary resident exemption? If you're a homestead, are they also deducting that? And I'll take one quick minute to dispel the most common myth I hear, and that is I have people tell me all the time, online and in person, that in order to qualify for a primary residence, you have to live in the house for 1 year first. That is simply not the case. You can qualify for a primary residence exemption on any house that you have lived in as a primary resident during the calendar year. So if you can show driver's license, vehicle registration, voter registration, all showing you lived in this house during the 2025 tax year, even if you apply in December, you're still going to get the entire year's discount. They're also going to ask you to provide 2 years worth of your federal income tax returns. They just want the first 2 pages of your 1040 form to see that you don't have another primary residence somewhere else. If you did have a primary residence somewhere else, you'll have to document that you no longer own that or are not being taxed at a discount on that. Now, the homestead exemption, which is a really unfortunate name, a lot of people may confuse that with primary residence. Homestead requires you to be over 65 or 100% disabled, and it does require that you live in the state of South Carolina for 1 full year as of January 1st of the tax year. So you have to have your driver's license a whole year before you qualify, and they do go by driver's license. So if you just moved to South Carolina and you're planning to get a tax discount, you need to go ahead and get your driver's license changed. If you have any questions about applying for your homestead exemption, your residential exemption, I encourage you to give a call to the Horry County Assessor's Office. It's a very friendly office, easy to work with. All of their information is also online and available at horrycountysc.gov. You should look that up. It's a very useful website. Go to their online services and you can look all of this up. I hope that helps. Don't forget, check your tax bill, make sure you're being taxed appropriately, and make sure you apply for your discounts. Thanks so much. McCutchen Vaught Geddie Hucks, your lawyers at the beach.